Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Upper Tier Podcast. It's Monday. It's the Monday mashup. It's the day after the weekend before, as they say. Kind of a bit of a horror show at the weekend. A lot of stuff going on. We are going to cover it. As always, our resident ref is in the house, rocking the club colours.
Oh
Rocking
yes,
the club
oh yes.
colours.
Not long
Out,
in from work, so just picked
out
up
of
whatever
respect.
was in hand.
Yeah, whatever was lying on the couch closest to hand, kind of thing.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
one of about 20 jerseys.
It's either
Uh,
that or rock up in the three-piece suit, and I'm not doing that.
Absolutely. Make sure, folks, if you aren't already subscribed to the channel, that you're hitting the bell notification as well. And make sure you're dropping a like on the video. So important. We're going to be bringing you through all the Premier League results. Have a look at the table. Going to have a little chat about Dundalk. We're going to look at the Carabao Cup. We're going to have a look at the Europa League. And we're going to have a quick chat about Brian Clough, of course, who's sadly the other day was 20 years, had left us, 20-year anniversary. So we take a look back. There is a documentary on the BBC iPlayer, folks, if you want to check it out as well. What a footballer, man, he was. Unbelievable.
Unreal, man. Unreal.
Craig is in the chat. Big up, Craig. Good seeing my friend. Evening, weekend.
How are you, Craig? He's back
Eventful
from
weekend.
holidays. He's back from holidays. He was in Mallorca last week. Back from
Oh, lovely.
holidays.
How was it? There's some mad weather going on around there at the moment and all,
We've
isn't there?
seen We've seen some videos of Salou, yeah, and Benidorm last week was mental,
Yeah, and Ted's in. Good evening, lads.
How are you, Ted?
Good man, Ted.
Good evening.
But before
before
we begin, let them know Hogan Elite Trophy here, the sponsor for the Monday mashup this season, as always.
Get in there, especially for Craig, obviously as an Arsenal fan. I have the Champions League here if you ever want to have a look at it, yourself, Craig. No, but again, like I said, plenty of events coming up, lads. Getting bookings for next year now at this stage and stuff like that. Just got booked for a wedding there for next year, for next July and stuff. Quite local here in the Lucan Spa Hotel as well, so looking forward to that. Again, I keep saying, any events coming up, lads, give me a shout, and if you are on any socials, Facebook, give us a like, and Instagram, give us a follow as well. So how are you, Joanne?
In the house.
A woman like Craig is a Arsenal fan as well, but we'll get to that eventually.
Absolutely, we're going to get to it. But there you go, folks. Make sure you're liking and giving a follow and all that kind of good stuff over there on Facebook and Instagram. Hogan Elite Trophy, or you wouldn't believe what a difference these trophies make to that special day, regardless of what it is. So there we go. Right, let's begin. Premier League review.
Yeah.
Let's start. West Ham 0, Chelsea 3. Mark, what's going on here? Lopetegui all over the place, playing lads. Tinkering, but lads slightly out of position. He has Kudus hugging the line. I don't know what he's thinking there. He's trying to play Jared Bowen as a 9. I don't know what's going on there. No. But it ain't working, and he better fix up real quick, or Lopetegui's stay in London will be even more short-lived than his stay in Wolverhampton.
Yeah, it's a strange one. Obviously, be careful what you wish for. All the fans wanted Moyes gone, and Lopetegui comes in, and it's been an absolute shit show, really, hasn't it? When you look at it, it's worrying because you look at Chelsea. Chelsea have obviously had a bit of a rocky kind of. No, I wouldn't say a rocky start, but a rocky kind of 8 months or so. That's a boy trying to settle in, but
off pitch.
Exactly. Yeah, no, they have, and they've settled in now. And I said it last season. If Nicholas Jackson brought his shooting boots, that he's going to be a top striker, and I think he proved that on Saturday morning. His finishing was unbelievable. His runs in between the defenders was second to none. Him and Palmer's link-up play was unreal. I think for me, man, the match was Caicedo. He was just all over the pitch. He was winning tackles, he was winning duels, he was all over the place. He was just non-stop. But you look at it as well. Are you alluding to the penalty situation in the game as well? So we'll probably talk about that later. But Chelsea are 2-0 up at that stage. If that is given and scored, it's 2-1. So it might make it a bit different, but I feel for West Ham. I think they're gonna struggle, and if they don't get things right, it's such a shame. They had so much success winning your all right, Baz, winning in Europe and stuff over the last few years and doing well in the league. So it's such a fall from grace in a way, and hopefully they can turn things around pretty quick.
Our main man tonight is tuning in all the way from Lanzarote.
I was in the Rotty.
That's the commitment. That's the commitment from this man. Big up, Baz. Hope you're having
Baz
a great
is in bar 67 now, chilling out with a pint in his hand.
Linekers. There you go.
Oh, yes.
What have you made of it? I mean, obviously we've done multiple podcasts here full of content in relation to the shenanigans and the goings on at Chelsea and everything else since the summer, really.
Yeah.
What have you made of how good Maresca has been able to kind of keep all that out of the way and just focus on what's on the grass, basically, and trying to find a formula there, which it looks like he's found now. Because that first goal from Jackson where he broke through, and you just see the two West Ham defenders looking at each other, was a thing of beauty. And then Palmer's goal as well was a beauty as well.
Noise of it hitting the back of the net and all. It was just,
when you hear that crack.
You can't beat it. But he's done really well. Again, it's the poison chalice taking a manager's job at Chelsea, isn't it? And for certain people, and they've had a lot going on, and he's starting to get them to blend and gel well together. Like I said, Caicedo came in last season. There was kind of question marks over him a bit. I know there was obviously kind of used we're looking for him at the same time. And I think I remember you were saying you were a bit relieved when you didn't get him, when you seen him perform when he was at Chelsea, But looking at his performance the other day, Enzo starting to play well as well. Jackson, like I said, I had big question marks over him last season. I think if he can stay in form and play the way he did on Saturday, he'd be up there with some of the top strikers this season in the Premier League. There's no doubt about it. The link-up play with Parma was unbelievable. So I think he's done a really good job to get them to gel together and keep their focus on what's going on the pitch rather than what's going on off it,
Yeah, Ted, she is an Arsenal fan. She's just not an Arteta fan.
Here with Joanne,
yeah. Big up, Henry. Good to see it. What's the bleeding?
How are you, Henry? What's the story, Hen?
Good to see it. Right, next up then. Aston Villa with a bit of a shaky start, going 1-0 down in the derby. Cunha with the goal. Darren had predicted Cunha to score. I think he was in Darren's bet. But Aston Villa showing a bit of metal at home. Watkins, Konsa and Duran again with a goal late on. 90+4.
I'll keep saying this, right? How in God's name does he not warrant to start? I said it for the last few weeks. He keeps coming off the bench. He keeps scoring. Imagine how many goals he would score if he's starting games, But yeah, listen, tough start. Great finish by Wolves. Some good build-up play as well. I think it was deserved by the way they they started. And yeah, Villa got back into it. Obviously, Ollie Watkins is getting a bit of run of form together. Great little finish. Konsa at the back post then from a lovely cross. And obviously our man Duran comes off the bench and scores again. And Jesus, I'm a massive fan of him. Like I said, I love to see him start. You're looking at Villa going, could they be the Bayer Leverkusen of the Premier League this year? The big question mark will obviously be now with Champions League and all. They're going to be playing a lot more games and using their strength and depth and stuff like that. If they can. But can I just say one thing? I thought Ross Barkley done very, very well as well.
Darren again alluded to that when they signed him, that he could be pivotal for them in certain aspects of the season and stuff like that and all. He's kind of one of those unknown anomalies, isn't he, really? He can be absolutely world-class or he can be invisible. And I think a lot of it depends on the managerial style that he lands on.
Exactly,
and the kind of environment that he's playing in. So we seen him even last year, didn't we, for Luton at times when he came in, he was really, really good. But
I think he knew that Luton move would be a stepping stone to another move. We'd obviously gone through tough times and stuff like that, had a few injuries and stuff. But I think he knew going to Luton that if he had a good season there, that other clubs are higher in the Premier League would start looking at him, and that's what happened. And yeah, he done really. I was really impressed with him on Saturday, I have to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Then we had Fulham versus Newcastle. Fulham winning 3-1. Barnes on 46. Jimenez early out of the blocks 5, starting to find his form again. A struggle for a while now. Super finish. And then all these ex-Arsenal boys seem to be playing out of their skin now.
Arsenal beat him.
Reece Nelson, all these guys that couldn't play and couldn't get a kick and all that. What do you make of Newcastle start? Obviously, they have Man City now. The cup game is cancelled because of the pitch. I don't know if you've seen the images of the
No, I
AFC
didn't see it.
Wimbledon
No,
pitch. It looked like a meteorite landed in the middle of the pitch. You want to
serious.
say this? Yeah, I seen pictures today. It was crazy. So that match is called off. So obviously Newcastle are going to be playing, I think on Sunday, is it, against Man City, if I'm correct? I think it might be one of the Super Sunday games.
We've Spurs, I think, at 4:30. So yeah, I think. But now, listen, Fulham. I always said Craven Cottage is going to be a tough place to go this season, and they proved that the other day. Newcastle, I don't know, they've just been lacking something. Listen, I think if you look at it, Pope should have saved Smith Rowe's shot. There's no doubt about it. Share should have scored from, or Share should have scored from the. Remember, Fulham are trying to play out the back. He should have either scored or squared it to Isaac. And then if Bruno with an absolute horrible ball across your 18-yard box, and that like if that was, you'd give out shite to someone if you were watching that down the park and a schoolboy player did that. But like they really were Fulham played really, really well. Smith Rowe, like you said, Nielsen played well. Who else was it? Well, Iwobi played really well as well. Traore's been there, but I think he got another assist, did he, on Saturday?
Traore?
Yeah, did he get an assist on Saturday, I think, for maybe the second goal?
Hang on 1 second, I'll tell you now. I didn't look at the assists. He got an assist for the first goal.
First goal, was it?
Yeah, he got an assist for the first goal.
So, yeah, no, he's been playing really well as well. There's a bit of end product there because you know yourself, how many times did you run down that line and just whip the ball in and hoping? So it paid off. But, yeah, for Newcastle, it's tough times, you know, and there's obviously that talk of how linked with the England job as well. That's growing momentum again and stuff. So, yeah, it's to be a Newcastle fan at the minute. It's not good. And like you said, with City coming up next as well, it's, you know, they've started very indifferently.
Same Potter was linked with the England job as well today. Read that today.
Brian Potter.
No, Graham.
No, I remember from Phoenix Nights.
Absolutely. Craig's in. ASR's a baller. Delighted to see him starting off well at Fulham. Yeah. Key thing for ASR, we know there's a fabulous footballer in there. It's just a case of
Craig. It's the injuries. Craig knows. I've always been a big fan of him as well. I've said that to you as well, Craig. You know, you watch him in the under-8 setup with Arsenal and stuff, some of the goals he scored. But yeah, it's just keeping him fit and injury free is going to be the big thing for them.
Yeah, big up, Simon. Good to see you. You know, I got to say this Arsenal fan here, it was robbery what happened. Both Bernardo and Doku kicked the ball away. No card shown, but we do it with a card. It's the ref, egotistical or paid. We're going to be coming to that, Simon. Don't worry about that. That is a topic for the agenda tonight, no doubt. Barkley's a player that isn't good enough to be a top team as he doesn't perform well consistently enough, but mid-table suits him very well. Ted, they are, from what I imagine, third in the table at the moment and playing in the Champions League. just looking at it, Everton finally bought. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, I was reading that. I don't think it's fully done yet, is it? But I think it's pretty close.
Thereabouts, yeah.
It's sooner rather than later. Anyway, it has to happen quick. Like, what up next? Leicester won. Everton won.
Did you see the weather there on Saturday?
Unbelievable.
Torrential.
See, they had I read that they have a 25-minute half time to try and let it pass. The weather was shocking.
Poxy, but like from obviously Everton take the lead again, and you're thinking they could go, you know, 2-3-0 up or whatever, and you just think Leicester get back into it. It's one of those, but Leicester made it difficult for themselves. Everton created some good chances, could have actually went 2 or 3-0 up, and then kind of, I don't know whether it was the weather or, you know, but it put a damper in their afternoon, and Leicester got back into it and equalised, and it was funny to see Pickford and Vardy winding each other up as well. Did you see the save Pickford pulled off and Vardy went in on him and stuff?
The one on the post thing.
Yeah.
So, he did the little shoulder change.
Yeah. So, and listen, from an Everton point of view, it's the first point of the season, and much needed after the last few results to try to keep the fans on side for a while, but it's going to be a tough season for them. And I was only speaking it to one of the lads in work today. Could you imagine Pickford and Ramsdale playing the Championship next season?
What? Well, that wouldn't happen.
No,
That definitely wouldn't happen. Because definitely not. Because if Allison's good knows, we might even end up with Pickford if he became available. Good Lord.
Don't say
Imagine that.
that.
Can you imagine
Don't say
Pickford
that.
and Van Dijk in front of him? Good Lord.
Don't say that.
What did you make of this story coming out today? Apparently, Calvert-Lewin, he's not happy. And I was just thinking, you're some tramp. I said, you spent most of your time at Everton sitting on the sick table. They've paid you up fully and they've never let you down and stuff like that. And now that you're having a little bit of a run and not exactly lighting it up, you're average at best, like, and you're not happy. And I was just there going, you absolute tramp.
And here,
You know?
and when he was on the sideline, he was off wearing bleeding dresses and skirts and all for fashion shoots and everything. Would you get a life, would you? Listen, he's doing what he's been paid to do, and it's about time he's actually done it. So I've never been a big fan of his anyway, you know.
Mark, what did you think of Nunes? Daz wants to know, but sure, we're going to talk about it now. Liverpool 3, Bournemouth 0.
Yeah.
Kind of a game of two halves. The game was basically done by half time. Diaz was absolutely electric.
On fire, man.
But that Nunes goal, the ball from Kanate and the interplay with Salah, and the finish was as good a finish as you see.
When he cut inside on the left, I was thinking he's not shooting, is he? Because there was players over the far side, and then he hit it and went in and went, all right, fair enough. Like, I just thought, I didn't think he'd get it in from there, but now Diaz was on fire, man. He's unbelievable.
He's very clinical this year, isn't he? He's brushed up on that big time. Like he always had the ability to beat players and go by players. His problem was when he'd shoot, then it would like hit the stand or hit whatever. You know? Now he's clinical. He's putting his chances away.
Some of his finishes kind of mind you Suarez as well and stuff like that. You know, he gets in the right positions and stuff, and you know, slots obviously come in and worked with him during this, you know, his reign so far with it. You wonder as well. Obviously, I know you've said before his dad's in his ear about getting a move over to Real Madrid or Barcelona or something like that. You know what I mean?
Barca,
yeah. Aces again, huh? Aces.
Never a dull moment. No, his dad was pimping him out to Barcelona. And then he suddenly went very, very quiet. Diaz is playing out of his skin because they realized that Barcelona's as broke as a joke. Yeah. Wake up, lads. Wake up.
There's no going there,
So but long may it continue. He's playing very,
and by the way,
well.
Can I just say as well, Kelleher made some unbelievable saves on Saturday as well. You know, he was amazing.
Good. Yeah, absolutely. Big up, Jack. Good to see you, my man.
Oh, yeah, Jack.
See you live right now.
You up the tram, man.
Right now on Twitch. Craig's in that ace the same way Haaland didn't see a booking, despite knocking people about. We're going to talk about it all. Hold your water fire. Hold your powder, lads. Up next, what did we have? Southampton 1, Ipswich 1. What a late goal from Ipswich. What a deflection.
Yeah, it's one of those. Southampton, obviously, Lallana had a great game, set up the goal for Southampton. I thought and listen, I thought they should have probably killed the game off before half time with some of the chances they created, especially even in the second half. They started off real well, but Ipswich, you kept plugging away, and eventually, what was it, the 94th or 95th minute, the corner comes back out, and Mercy hits it and he takes a deflection, goes in the top corner. You know, you have to. What I will say about Ipswich, I was looking at them. You know, they've gotten 10 or 11 players in over the summer. It's going to take them a few more games for a lot of the players to gel and stuff like that. You know, that sort of way they've been kind of thrown in there. They've had some tough games, but they're showing little glimpses of what they can do when they're, you know, at the top of their game. And I really like to watch them, to be honest with you. You probably seen in the first game of the season, you know, the first half an hour, 45 minutes against you, they were excellent, you know. So they're going to be a tough team to play against this season, but I think it will take a few more games for all the new players to come in and gel and stuff like that.
Have you experienced one of those where you think you have it covered and it gets to the deflection and just goes out of your reach?
Plenty.
They're rough, aren't they? I have to say, even as a goalkeeper, I love them. They're deadly. They're deadly.
Yeah, no, and
you just feel so helpless, don't you? You're just standing
there and just watching it going over, and nothing you can do, you know.
Yeah. And I mean, that was right in the top corner.
Unreal. You know, I don't know if it did it hit just the inside of the post or did it go straight in the top corner, but
it just kind of went into that corner, didn't it? Like just about, like, you know.
Great finish and another valuable point. when you think about it for Ipswich on the road, you know.
Definitely needed. Coyle's in, big up Coyle. My heart was broken yesterday, lads. We're still not winning anything under this manager. Do you know what it is, Coyle? The defense is unbelievable. I mean, to hold out that long in a bank of 6-3 was absolutely incredible. And you were so lucky right at the death. Kind of felt it was kind of coming, but it was a bit of a dagger in the end. But you know something, Kyle, where you're going to pay the prices. Again, not getting that striker and maybe not getting a left winger. Martinelli again, he's been playing okay since he came back in, but nowhere near what you want. And then obviously losing Trossard to the card as well didn't help us with that. But I tell you, Kyle, you were matching them man for man when it was 11 versus 11. You were giving them a right good game. And I tell you, I wouldn't have been surprised if Arsenal walked away with the points yesterday if it had been 11 versus 11.
Yeah.
But very, very unlucky, I have to say, kid. And I tell you, listen, don't forget, a lot of these title-winning teams, they're built on defences. You know, if you ever rock solid, unbelievable. And then you Ben White in there, Calafiori yesterday. What a goal he scored, Calafiori as well.
And the great finish. And even Gabriel, just before he scored the header, he had another great header at the back post as well.
The one that he just missed.
Exactly. And he scored last week against Spurs. Like he's lethal in the air. I went wrong with the fantasy. I went with Saliba instead of Gabriel. Could be changing.
Do you know what? I'd love to know how many times they practice that in a week. Because they're literally finding Gabriel inch perfect now in that position. The way he spun away from the player and all to open up the space for the goal was incredible. It's
something we hadn't done in a while. I know the Ligt scored there last week, but we hadn't done that in ages. Like Vidic used to do it a lot, you know, and stuff like that. And you go back to the likes of Bruce and Pallister and all, but we hadn't done that in a long time.
Didn't you see West Ham supporter knocked out Chelsea supporter outside London Stadium after? I did see that, I did see that. Your man was being stupid, like absolutely stupid. Where did these guys come from? The volcanoes in.
To see that Irish guy going around, he's half Nigerian, half Irish, but going to the stadiums. He done it at Old Trafford a few weeks ago. He wore the Liverpool jersey and he was winding everyone up. And he was at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium last week in the Arsenal jersey. He wound them all up and all. And like, he's definitely going to get a box one of these days in the head. Like,
yeah, you're definitely going to walk into the wrong fan at one stage.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. Let's push on anyway. So Spurs 3, Brentford 1. And Buemo with the goal after 1 minute. I'm sure Ange and the rest of them are thinking, here we go again. Losing their mind. But then 3 lads that we spoke about last week that aren't really performing. Solanke on 8, Brennan Johnson on 28, and James Maddison. What a goal by James Maddison. Lovely little dink.
Yeah. And it's funny, that's 2 weeks in a row Brentford have scored in the first minute. There was a great video, I don't know if you've seen it, of it from the Spurs end, and they're all singing "Come on, you Spurs" and all. And then Brentford kick off, bang, 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 and it goes in, and this place is just silent. It's like, where do you go from here? But now, fair play, they got back into it. Maddison's getting back to his best. You can see glimpses of you know, I think.
Yeah, you saying that, Mark? Did you Vicario?
Yeah.
And here, it wasn't marginal either.
No,
like,
it's funny. The first one, he was on the line, right? But then he puts his hand on it again and kind of goes like that. And I'm looking at it going, how is he not giving it? If it was just the first one on the line, because it's on the line, it's deemed inside the penalty.
And you could see by his reaction, he knew he did it. You could tell by the player's reaction that he knew he did it.
How it wasn't looked at or anything was unbelievable. Like, so, but like I was saying, Maddison played really well. Yeah, Solanke getting his first goal, so that would probably spur him on and get a few more. Obviously, he was unlucky with injury. Johnson, it's a weird one. He has a few good games. Like, I've seen him with Forest, and he was really good over. You know, he was very consistent over a number of weeks playing for them. I just don't know at a big club if he can do consistently. You know, he has little sparks here and there, and you can see what he's like. I don't know. I'm starting to think that Spurs might be a bit too big for him, a club like Spurs, you know, that sort of way. I don't know. I could be wrong, but just watching him over the last while since he signed and stuff, and again, Song played really. I think he got an assist or 2 assists.
What did they say? That's his first goal since November.
For Johnson, isn't it?
No, you're talking about. I was talking about Maddison. Sorry.
Oh, Maddison. Sorry, no, Maddison. Yeah.
Johnson.
Yeah, no, sorry, I was talking about Johnson.
Mm.
Yeah, Brennan Johnson. Like I said, I watch a lot of him at Forest and stuff, and he's done really well. But yeah, Madison's again. He's shown what form he had probably in the peak of last season before the injury and stuff like that. You know,
Mm.
he done really well, the little dink and stuff. And like I said, Song got 2 assists, which was really good as well. So, and that's another thing I said. I captain Salah thinking against Bournemouth, he might get a few, and I was going between him and Son because I didn't want to go with Haaland playing against Arsenal, but so I
Yeah.
chose the wrong one.
They're very clever with it, Ted. The ball is normally already left the hands by the time they're outside. I'd say that's something that a lot of them are practicing as well. I don't know.
That's one.
It's not very obvious either, is it? Because most teams these days now are trying to play out from the back.
I pulled up a keeper before in Ballyulster with it, and there was one or two when I was looking at it, and obviously you don't have assistant referees on the lines unless it's a big semi-final or a final. So I tried to get as close as I could at an angle, and I noticed it, so I pulled them up on it, and the line started going mad at me, and I said, it's in the laws of the game, but yeah, they tried to gain the extra yard or two for the kick out and stuff like that, but it's ridiculous. But yeah, how it wasn't pulled up yesterday was a farce. Like,
yeah, Kane was brilliant. That when he took it, when he had a bite out of Mika Richards. Mika Richards was loving over Danny Welbeck in the Brighton game, and when they were warming up. And God, Kane turned around. He was only short saying, "Boys, you need to get a room." Basically,
did you see Mika and Beckham during the week?
Yeah, very good.
And then he goes, "I got some Beckham sticky stuff last night," and the lads are all looking at him then the day after. Oh man,
the lads are crazy. Right, and then we round out Saturday with a 0-0. Crystal Palace 0, Man United 0. What'd you make of it?
Yeah, listen, we created some really good chances. I think the first hour we looked comfortable without actually scoring. Obviously Garnacho hit the bar, Bruno as well. And then Palace kind of got back into a bit. Onana pulled off a great double save and stuff. And then we had obviously the incident at the end with Martinez, which we'll probably talk about again. But yeah, disappointing. Listen, it's always a tough place to go to. So in one way we didn't concede, which you'd be happy about, but obviously we didn't score as well. So listen, it's frustrating because obviously winning last weekend and against Southampton and then getting the good win in the cup, you want to keep the momentum going and try to get another 3 points on the board, especially with Spurs now this Sunday, sorry. And with them after winning as well, Spurs. So yeah, it was disappointing, but listen, you take it because it is a tough place to go to,
A lot of talk about Bruno coming out of the game. Misplaced, I think, 34 passes.
Yeah, he
bad day at the office.
Yeah, it's one of those. He did a decent game against Southampton. Obviously came on against Barnsley for the last 15-20 minutes, and but yeah, he can be frustrating when it's not going his way. We all know that. And some of his passing. The funny thing about it is some of his passing is off, but if someone puts a pass that's not directly to his foot, he goes absolute apeshit. So, it's horses for courses with him,
Yeah, what did you make of the lineup? Were you surprised that Rashford was dropped after being so good against Barnsley?
I was.
Confidence player, keep the momentum going.
Yeah, exactly. I was obviously scoring against Southampton, should have and could have had a hat trick during the week against Barnsley. And
sorry, I should correct myself there. Not dropped, rotated.
Rotated, yeah.
Because I said dropped the other day, and one of our colleagues that we know, a United fan, he wasn't very happy with me saying dropped.
Oh. No, it's one of those. Listen, I had a feeling Garnacho was going to start. I thought, given the previous few starting 11s, that he was going to maybe drop Ahmed because he's been starting Rashford so much. So I was surprised, but I think it was a bit of a. Ten Hag does these moments where you scratch your head. Obviously, Rashford, like I said, played really well against Southampton, really well against Barnsley. Confidence is high. He's getting back in scoring, and he's looking half happy to be playing. And then he drops him or rotates, whatever you want to say. But I'd expect him to probably start against Spurs on Sunday, but it's given what he's going to. I can't see him dropping Garnacho, so maybe he'll have to rotate Ahmed on Sunday against Spurs.
Yeah, what you make of Henderson? Goalkeeping masterclass. He's very good, isn't he?
Yeah, he done very well. I'm not a massive fan of his attitude and the way he goes on, to be honest. But yeah, he's a good keeper. He's solid enough, you know.
Do you know what it is? He's brilliant at getting in people's heads. We seen it
Ah,
in the
he is.
Crystal Palace game
Yeah,
against us at
yeah.
Anfield. He got so into Mo Salah's head, it was unbelievable. Like, and it was just
But Ted's right. He does have those howlers in him. He's a bit like your man Trafford, you know, that Burnley had before. He'll have one or two decent games, and
Armstead.
then he'll have a howler as well, you know.
Yeah, what else did I want to ask you? There was something else in that game I want to ask you that came up. Can't remember
It
now.
wasn't the Martinez one we'll probably talk about in a while, will we?
No, we'll talk about that in a while. No, there was something else. Oh yeah. What did you make? Obviously, Crystal Palace brought Will Hughes on to try and wrestle back the midfield and stuff like that and take control from there. Worked for a little while. What did you make then? Ten Hag reacting to that, bringing Ugarte on, probably when you wanted maybe a bit more of opportunity going forward to get a
Going
goal.
forward,
Would
yeah.
you not have gone with Cass in that case? Ugarte's kind of a more sit-in destroyer. Casemiro can crash the box sometimes and score important goals for you. Was Cass not probably the better option there?
Well, myself and Ted would have want McTominay. Seen him play for Napoli the other day. He done very well. But yeah, no, I could see why he was doing it. But yeah, at that stage of the game, you're looking probably just to advance a little bit further on into the in the field of play and get into the box. But I could see he was just trying to cancel out. All right, so yeah, it was a bit frustrating. But I could see his kind of theory behind it. You know.
Acers, that's if it is still Jose Mourinho. He walked out in the interview yesterday. Did you see it?
No.
He walked out on the interview yesterday after Galatasaray beat them. So,
Big game that. Big game that.
You know, things can change there very quickly.
Sorry, Rovers are 1-0 up against Bowes Burke in the 84th minute there. It's just gone into stoppage time. I'll just
Very
say
good.
any League of Ireland fans in there. Big 3 points for Rovers. That will take them a point behind Derry and 4 points behind Shells. Both Shells and Derry have a game in hand.
Cool. United should have had a penalty for handball. Acers.
Sorry, because I was just checking the result there. Sorry.
Where they both, we'll get into the Reds now in a minute. We're going to talk Brighton 2, Nottingham Forest 2. Game was tickling along, not much issues and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden came alive right at the death, 84 minute. Morgan Gibbs White getting a second yellow and a red. And then obviously both coaches got sent packing.
What I didn't understand was initially, the lads might correct me in the chat. The referee said he got the ball, so it wasn't a yellow card. But then obviously someone might have had a word in his ear to say that Gibbs White went through the man and then got the ball, which would have incurred the second caution and the red card. And then obviously there was a bit of a back and forth between the two managers on the sideline and stuff like that. And I think, I'm nearly sure, was Anthony Taylor the fourth official? I'm not too sure.
In this one?
Yeah.
Not too.
So he had a word with the referee and both managers got sent off then. But initially, like I said, I could be wrong. The lads in the chat correct me. But initially, it looked like when Gibbs White went in, the referee was going like that he had gotten the ball, but then changed his mind. So yeah, it was a weird one.
Interesting result, though. Interesting result.
Yeah. Like in fairness, Woods again on form. But Danny Welbeck had an absolute stormer. The free kick, and he did I think was it in the second half he walked through the defence and it just went wide as well. But both teams looking very good, and I think I'm not too Forest are still unbeaten, aren't they?
Yes, as far as I know. Yeah.
Are Brighton still unbeaten as well?
No, don't think so.
I thought they were. No, yeah. So listen, good result. I think 2-0 was a fair result. When
actually you're right, they might be all right. I'm not too sure actually.
But yeah, no, I think it was a decent result all round. Like I said, Welbeck for me was man of the match.
There we go.
That's it, Daz. That's it.
Yeah, Brighton and Forest Craig are unbeaten. Yeah, absolutely. So we had on the slide last week, sure, and now this is the draw. So, and then we go to the meat of this main course this week. Man City 2, Arsenal 2. Haaland with a fantastic goal on 9, broke through, brilliant pass, of course. That boy Savinho looks a player, doesn't he?
Yeah, great ball.
And then we had Calafiori on 22 with a cracking goal into the far corner. Beautiful play. Not without controversy off the free kick, of course, and Walker and also Gabriel on 45 plus 1 with a header. Probably the harder effort of the one that he had previously just missed.
Yeah, just went
And
over.
then John Stones on 90 plus 8. Of course, Trossard getting sent off with a red for kicking the ball away. This leads us nicely into ref watch, because this is where it should begin. There's no doubt about it.
Can I just say as well, I said to my dad this morning on the phone, I would have loved to be a fly on the wall in Craig Murphy's house yesterday when that John Stones goal went in. I can only imagine. But
some of the content creators out there, Troops and Curtis Shaw and all, check those boys out. The reaction was unbelievable. And you know something? If they had scored in the 80th minute or something like that, you wouldn't feel as bad. But it's the fact that it was literally the last kick of the game.
Yeah, because I believe in the second half wasn't it 54 minutes long? And the ball was only in play for 34 minutes.
Yeah.
Of the second half.
Yeah.
That's unreal, isn't it? Like,
so the question is, I don't think there's any debate about the Trossard red card, is there?
No, for me, no. It's silly.
Similar to Rice.
Yeah, he knows he's already on a caution. I do believe you could look at it on both things. If he's heard the whistle, he's literally booted away. I got a video today of remember the Peter K. John Smith ads where he kicks it and he goes, "Avit." It's one of those. And listen, he could have also got a second caution for the barge in the back. So I think if I'm Mikel Arteta, I'm very disappointed with the player, knowing he's on a yellow card, knowing he's cautioned already to do that. It's particularly when my team, it's been highlighted from my team 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. So I'd be very disappointed with him. Obviously, it changes the game, but like you said earlier on, because I thought Arsenal were immense in the second half defensively, to keep City out for as long as they did,
Yeah, I think, look, it was commendable what they did. They were very unlucky. And to be honest, when you think about it, if you go up there, normally when you play them at the Etihad, you're not too disappointed if you come away with a point. But I think it was just the nature of the game. It was a feisty game. Obviously the Rodri injury, we're hearing it could be an ACL and he's gone for the season. Not too sure. Which might scupper our plans in January. Maybe Man City might turn their attention to one Zubimendi. So let's see what happens there. But talk to me then about Doku. Doku didn't get booked for his one. And also Bernardo Silva didn't get booked for his one and probably could have seen red because he was booked for.
I would have probably given the Silva one more so than the Doku one, because the Doku one for me is he's the referee's blown his whistle and the referee's actually pointed back to where Doku's kicked the ball to say that's where the free kick is. So Arsenal were obviously trying to take a free kick, but they wouldn't have been able to because the ref would have pulled it back to say, right, it's back there.
So it felt more like nearly an instruction from the ref to put the ball back where
if you watch the replay, Doku is looking at the ref and he sees the ref pointing back and he just kind of toe pokes the ball back to where the referee has pointed to. So for me, it wouldn't have been a caution, where I think Silva obviously was more of a caution than that. Now, that's just in my personal opinion, but if you watch the replay, the referee's pointed back like that, and Doku's looking at him, and he goes like that and kicks the ball back to where the referee's pointed to, where the free kick should have been taken from in the initial instance. Is that? Yeah. No, listen, it happens with the best of them, Craig. I see it. Yeah, no, it was. When Oliver first came into the league, I thought he was really well. But obviously, when you're a young referee, you're out to impress, and you want to build up your badges and get your FIFA badge to be able to referee in, the international tournaments and stuff like that. And
to be able to go wearing those big books in Saudi during the summer.
That's
do I need to even mention that? Do I?
It's like when they get their FIFA badge and stuff, they kind of just be like, right, that's it then, and I'm gonna go a bit Mark Clattenburg here and just make it all about myself,
What did you make as well? Obviously, Haaland hopping the ball off Gabriel, the back of his head and stuff like that, and all, and then the shithousery afterwards with Arteta and all, telling him to be humble. Of anyone on the pitch to be telling anyone to be humble, it certainly shouldn't have been Haaland with the shenanigans of him. What do you make? Is there an issue here? A lot of Arsenal fans talking today on social media, talking about that there's potentially an agenda. you can kind of feel for it because they do tend to be, and it's happened with a lot of them. Let's put it the other way. It seems to be a lot of the decisions tend to go in City's favour.
Oh,
We've
yeah,
seen it in
absolutely.
previous seasons as well.
But
I don't feed into the fact that there's an Arsenal agenda because you see it with a lot of teams and stuff like that. But it just so happens Arsenal at the moment seem to be the team that's in the news on the back of these decisions these
yeah.
days. What you thinking on it at the moment?
Well, from the Haaland point of view, I thought it was really bad form to throwing the ball at card. There's no need for it. Like, do you know what I mean? It's down the laws of the game. It's unsporting behaviour. Depending on the referee, you could see a caution or you could see straight red card for something like that. You know what I mean? It's like when
How come it's not looked at or addressed?
I actually don't know. Because I tried to look it up today and see why it wasn't looked at. Because I think there was an incident. Remember at West Ham a few years ago where I can't remember who it was. A West Ham player kicked the ball towards the opposition player and got a sending off for it out of frustration. And that's like, I know they just scored, but like he's thrown the ball at an opponent's head, at the back of his head, like, and listen, people say, oh, there wasn't any force in it. It's still an unsporting behaviour. For me, he could have been sent off, and I wouldn't have had any arguments with that, you know. So it was for me, I thought it was bad form, and especially from like Haaland. You see his behaviour after and all; it's very petty, and I just thought it was just and you seen I think it was Jesus went up to him and he's like trying to talk to him, and then Haaland called Jesus a fucking clown, and I think Ben White trying to get involved and stuff like that. But
And then Arteta pushed the two boys away, of course.
exactly, yeah. I thought that was bad form on
Yeah.
Haaland's point of view, but yeah, to throw it the way he done, like it's not on, like, you know.
See, the difference with yesterday, Craig, is they've set a precedent now on this kicking the ball away or holding up play being restarted or whatever it is. So they have to act on it now. They've created this stick for their own back now, basically, you know. So now they have to act on it. But the problem is the inconsistency that you're not getting it in every situation of it and stuff like that. And that's the real problem. That's how it feels unfair and stuff like that and all, you know. But
And can I just say as well, like, yeah, like Haaland's thing, that could have started a melee. You know, he threw the ball, but then he goes running. I don't think many, because of the angle, a lot of the players were kind of ahead of Gabriel at the time. So I think if some of the players were behind him and had seen it, it could have started a melee at that point in the match, you know. And then you could have given as many yellow cards and cautions as you wanted, you know.
I don't think the Rice one is the same.
Well, see, Rice kicks the ball off the field of play. So even like if you're kicking it back towards them, it's still on the field of play, giving them an opportunity to take the free kick but the ball leaves the field of play. So when the ball leaves the field of play, there's more time taken off the clock than if it's still on the field of play.
Yeah, but I don't think they're the same thing. Now look, when I looked at it yesterday, I thought it should have been a caution as well, you know, because I think the only way you're going to stamp this stuff out is if you. But it's a rod for their own backs, really, when they start to dish cards out like this, because then later on in these games,
you're open,
you're
opening yourself up to, do you know what I mean, for all sorts. So yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, I think so as well, Ted. And I can't understand why it wasn't looked at. I don't know why everyone didn't pick up on it. I don't know why it's not in the referee's report for retrospective action or whatever it is. And you know what I mean? It was clear as day.
And lads, anyone in the chat, we're talking ref watch here. Did anyone see the Preston and Blackburn game?
No.
Take a look at that, lads. I'd say Ted and Craig might have seen it. There was an incident there. Let's say Suarez-esque in the Preston and Blackburn game.
Oh, I read it. Yeah, I read it today. Actually, yeah, your man had teeth marks on the back of his neck and all, didn't he?
Well, he was wearing one of these, you know, the things they wear for to check the monitor.
Oh, the data,
like,
yeah.
And there's like a little bra on them. Or
yeah, the male
like
bra. Okay. Yeah.
Apparently, they couldn't see that the bite mark through the vest that he was wearing, but apparently there's a retrospective ban going to take place. So he's looking at about 10 games or something like that, you know.
Yeah,
too right. How derby that is as well. Preston and Blackburn hate each other nearly as much as Preston and Burn.
Anything else you want to touch on from a ref watch point of view?
Well,
anything anyone in the chat want to bring out?
One of the probably for me the Martinez one as well. It's very lucky boy.
The 2-foot.
Yeah, I think for me it's a red card. It doesn't matter if you make contact. Your action is endangering the safety of an opponent. The Palace player was lucky that he pulled out, but if it's like if you throw a headbutt at someone and you don't hit them, you're still endangering them by your action because you're actually intending to hit them. So for me, I think he was very, very lucky. I don't know why it wasn't looked at. But yeah, I thought he was a lucky boy, if I'm being honest. I don't know what the lads in the chat yourself think, but I really do think he was lucky.
It was just weird. It was like a total brain fart, wasn't it? Because it's not, and like it was the most intentional double foot stomp you'll ever see.
Yeah,
Like he didn't hide any bit of it. Like this was like Bolo Young and Enter the Dragon
yeah,
basically
yeah,
against Bruce
yeah,
Lee. He was like full on in air, both legs up, stomped right down, marginally missed the guy. Certainly would have broke a foot if he had
yeah,
landed.
yeah. Then the only one that jumped into my head that we spoke about earlier was the West Ham penalty, which I would have given. I thought it was a penalty. I thought he held on to him, he pulled him back.
Oh, the one where he grabbed him by the arm, yeah.
Yeah. So initiated just outside the penalty area, but I think obviously the main the main pull was inside. I think to me, I would have given it. Again, I don't know why it wasn't looked at. Unless, I think it wasn't looked at
It, wa-
because
it, wa- it
the
was looked
the
at,
the
wasn't it? They did look
yeah,
at it, didn't
no, but I'm just saying it wasn't overturned obviously because
they?
the
Yeah.
VAR agreed. They didn't even send them off to the screen, just have a look at it and say, here, listen, what do you think of that? So yeah, no, that's the only other one I can think of where, yeah, definitely I would have given a penalty anyway.
Yeah, the only thing about it I would have said was he kind of made it a bit more dramatic. If he had just went down, he was kind of dramatic in the way he went down
I
for
just,
for what was a kind of an arm tug, you know.
you're in a way, like Ted, you're right. You listen, you shouldn't be going in like that, but because he's gone in like that, he's asking the referee a question, and I don't think he should do it. It's in Palace's penalty area as well. He's high up the pitch in the penalty area. Palace, there's no need for it, and he's potentially going to endanger the safety of the opponent. And for me, that's a
The
big no
usual,
no. Like,
you're risking giving the referee a decision to make,
yeah,
and
and
that's
I
what
don't,
you
you
don't
shouldn't
want
be
to be
doing
in.
that.
You don't want to be in
And
that
like I said,
area.
particularly in that part of the field as well, like the field of play, you shouldn't be doing up there. Like,
So here we are. Here's the table. What do you think so far? What you thinking?
isn't it mad to see Wolves down there? Because we kind of they've been doing playing well and this, that, and the other, but they've only 1 point to show from it. And we've seen how bad Everton have played, and they still have 1 point.
Mm.
So yeah, listen. Obviously, I'd like to be probably up around where Newcastle and Brighton are at the minute, but it's not to be. I think big games this weekend: City and Newcastle, ourselves and Spurs are to name but two. So yeah, no, it's listen, it's looking like I thought would at this stage. Obviously, I wouldn't have put Forest up there at 8. Probably I probably wouldn't have had Brighton at 7. But yeah, no, they're doing everything to justify what their position in the table at the minute.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting. It's only 5 games in though. It is early days and stuff like that, but you can see it's starting to structure itself a little bit and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And just goes to show where you look at Newcastle there in 6th, 3 points off top. You know how vital
yeah.
their game this week coming up. It's the lunchtime on Saturday. Acers told us earlier as well. Off
Okay,
the
yeah,
Saint
yeah,
off the St James's as well, which will be an interesting game against Man City. No Rodri,
yeah.
and struggling a little bit. So we shall see. It'll be interesting.
Nice one.
Right, let's have a quick chat about Dundalk.
Yes.
We'll start with this because I know you're close enough to it.
What do you think of that black Hugo Boss suit that Mr. Temple is wearing, by the way?
Very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
but he
no,
said in the presser, I've staved off the execution, but the daggers are growing and hanging over every year. New Dundalk owner John Temple, he said he was blunt about the bigger picture facing the club with debts well in excess of 1 million.
yeah, no. Obviously, I know John myself personally, and I thought it was a very honest and a very good interview that he gave to Dundalk TV on Tuesday night, I think it was, or Wednesday night. But no, I was delighted to hear because as a League of Ireland fan, you don't want to see any club, go in the direction of liquidation. And listen, we've seen it. We talked about it last week about Kilkenny, Monaghan, Dublin City Sport, and Fingal. You don't want to see it. They have so much history behind them, and they've been to the Champions League, they played in the Europa League and stuff like that. And John's come in, and like I said last week, I couldn't say too much, but John obviously had him and the consortium had a bid rejected when Brian first came in and bought the club. And John has been involved with Dundalk for quite a number of years. He's coached from the underage teams and stuff like that as well. And his kids have played. His most recent kid is actually I think I text you. He's over in the Liverpool Academy at the moment. He's only 12. So he's over at the Liverpool Academy and stuff like that. He's doing really well. So, but John's a football man, but at the same time, he's a businessman as well. He's a well-known barrister in these and like he said it in that interview. He says, like, listen, they're after getting a grant for the floodlights and the pitch, 500,000 coming in from the government, but that just covers that. At the moment, every euro coming into the account of Dundalk, there's €2 going out, that sort of way. So it's really, really tough. Obviously, from a league point of view as well, I'm just going to double check here because Drogheda are playing tonight because Dundalk are 4 points behind Drogheda. Drogheda have a game in hand. So I'm just going to see now where they are. It's very tough, right? So that finished now all with Galway. So they're now, they're 5 points behind Drogheda on level on games. It's going to be very, very tough because
this won't have helped them the other day either.
No, and they started off well. They actually took the lead in the game, and
they were 1-0 up.
They were playing some good football. I was watching it, and Sligo. Listen, Sligo were a team. Sligo will go out and I think they bet us. Then they got beaten 9-0 by Drogheda or something like that. So they're a real up and down team this season. But yeah, it's just such a tough situation, and as well, I just want to mention as well. A very well-known Dundalk fan, Mark Maxie Kavanagh. He's in a very bad way at the minute in ICU down in Dundalk. So I want to wish him all the best.
All our positivity to him and his family.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He had a tough week and he tried to seek some help and he sat in the hospital in Dundalk for 14 hours and wasn't seen. And but. I'll explain that after. But yeah, I just want to send me prayers and thoughts to Mark and his family up there because he's a good man. Everyone in the League of Ireland knows him, and he's a character. But yeah, listen, hopefully the most likely is they're going to get relegated, but it's how they bounce back. And I know John will try to do his best for the club and stuff like that, and hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. What Acer said there, crazy a decade ago, Dundalk were flying high. We only spoke about it on last week's show, how these clubs fall. We even spoke about it, remember when Aaron was on, we talked about it. How does this cycle just work all the time and stuff?
Exactly, yeah.
Ted is in. What did you think of Pep's comments regarding Walker being caught out of position for the first Arsenal goal?
Pep. I'm telling you, some pace still on him, Walker, doesn't he? Is that from running from one of the family's houses to the other that he has, no?
Must be. Big up, Jordan. Good to see you, my man.
Aces, they didn't blow the money. It was mainly the American owner took it out of Dundalk, all the money they got from it. So, because that's what they have to get the grant for. Because I've said it for years, Oriel Park is still the same way it was in the mid-90s, bar the Astro pitch, which they don't upkeep. They just keep putting that black, the black rubber grit on it. Like that's all they do, So many injuries from it, and so hopefully with the grant they're going to get new floodlights and a new pitch laid down as well. Absolutely. And then they can work on the stands and stuff.
Now, apart from Trossard and apart from the glitz of the Premier League, we have a little bit of ref watch closer to home. Can you talk to me about this penalty?
Oh, yes, we were talking about this the other day.
I don't know how this guy was even able to go home that night and sleep after doing this. This was shocking. Speaking of riots, like the panel were going mad, the manager was going mad, the players were going mad. This was crazy stuff.
It was ridiculous. And McElhinney, the Derry player that went down, is such he's an absolute joke. Like you said, he got abuse off them, and even in interviews after watching off the ball and stuff like that, they're all saying it. But what for me is obviously I looked at, did you see Damien McGrath's position, the angle that he's at isn't like it's not the greatest, but for me, I texted you the other day, the assistant referee has a clear view of it.
But
So
see
how?
these pictures don't even do it justice. See that middle picture?
Oh no, yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
daylight between with that
Uh,
player and that player's legs is
100%.
like, man, you could ride a bike through it. It's
Lads, if you are in
crazy.
the chat and you hadn't watched this, go onto YouTube, look at it.
Watch
It's an
this
absolute
penalty
shambles.
that was given.
And
This
it's
is
in the 94th minute, was it? Or was it the 84th minute?
it might have been the 84th minute. I think
84th
I
minute, I
don't
think
know.
it
It was
was.
pretty
So
close to the end as well.
yeah, 84th minute. He goes down, Derry equalise, make it 1-1. Two of them are in second and third at the moment, chasing Shells for the league. So, but for me, it was a ridiculous decision. Like I said, the referee for me wasn't in the greatest of positions to see it, but the assistant referee is right in line with it. I'd be absolutely livid with him if I'm the referee going in and seeing the replays and the assistant referee is right in front of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And all the talk was because we've no VAR.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Lads, don't go near VAR. Even with
Oh, yeah.
incidents like this, stay
Listen,
away from it.
not being funny, but the League of Ireland, they wouldn't have the stadia to do it. You know, it's yourself. Like,
The VAR for them be two lads running the line with two Nokias or
yeah,
something like that.
exactly. Someone
Snapping pictures. And
big
stuff like
time,
that, yeah.
big time.
Absolutely. In fairness with that Walker situation, Ted, I thought he was done dirty. Because the free kick was taken out of position. He was talking to the ref, and then the ball was
Oh
played
yeah,
down
yeah,
the
yeah.
back track. I thought he was done dirty, in fairness. But yeah, absolutely crazy.
But yeah, no, and
Um,
like for the Derry, it was a good game. I thought it was a bit. What did you think of it? Obviously, I watch the League of Ireland week in, week out here and stuff like that. But
it was. I have to say, I enjoyed it. It was a good game. I put it on because I seen that it was on and stuff like that. And then
yeah,
when that happened, see, when you get decisions like that, then it's like, Jesus, what am I doing watching this? Then you know what I mean?
Ragdoll
Like it's just
Rovers, yeah,
this is like you don't see this crap on under tens, like you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
And you're there going,
It doesn't.
this is League of Ireland. It's
It
not a real
doesn't.
good advertisement for
It
it. You know
doesn't
what I
do
mean?
the league any justice,
Yeah,
really. But yeah,
yeah.
no, some of the if you go onto some of the forums and stuff like that in the League of Ireland, some of the referee decisions are a bit crazy. And to be honest with you, one of the head referee in the League of Ireland looks after all the training for the referees as well. Rob does so, and he gets a lot of abuse. But I know Robbie's a sound lad and stuff like that. But it is comical some of the stuff that you see in here with the league.
That one was crazy. I thought, like, I was just there going, oh my God, like just the daylight between your man's legs and the other lad, and they going
Yeah.
down, and it
But
was just
he's like I say, he got some abuse like off the Rovers fans when he's gone off the pitch and stuff like that. And obviously seeing from the ex players and stuff getting him loads of abuse as well. Like he deserves every bit of it.
oh, the panel was livid. The
Yeah, yeah,
panel was absolutely on fire. And I even seen Rovers manager getting interviewed and all, and and even afterwards he couldn't contain himself. He was just going on and on. And then I think he did they interview him for a piece for the papers, and he was still livid.
yeah. Yeah.
He was on fire, like you know what
But
I mean?
yeah, the one or two of the
Crazy.
lads, if you see it on off the ball, and stuff like that, they
Kenny
were going on.
Cunningham.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Kenny. Spare he was going.
Kenny, he's some boy up, but yeah, no,
Well,
yeah,
especially Kenny being a defender as well.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
But
so
don't let that put
be
you off
close to
it.
his heart. Be close
Don't
to
let
his
that
heart,
put
you
you
know?
off it. You
Yeah.
can keep watching the League of Ireland. I think
Ah,
there's
yeah,
6
no,
games to
absolutely.
go now, getting to the nitty gritty end of the season.
I do
Like
dip my toe in. I do dip my toe in, as they say. Big up, Jordan. Yeah, keep it going. Keep the
how are
lives
you,
going, my
Jordan? You
friend.
alright?
Eno's in. Big up, Ian.
Yeah,
Ian,
the boy is back in town. See what I
the
did
boy
there?
is back in town. If you're into Tin Lizzy, Ian and his band, the Soldiers of Fortune Tin Lizzy tribute band, they're playing the Harbour Bar this Friday. So
Yeah,
there's
in
a
Bray.
few of us are going to be meeting up. There's going to be quite an upper tier contingent at it.
Nice
So
one.
it should be a bit of crack,
I
you
know
know.
why. I'm at an 18th. Vaughn's niece's 18th on
Oh,
Friday
very
night.
nice.
So
And he's saying up the F and Chelsea. Yeah, check back.
yeah,
Catch it on the replay in. We were giving Chelsea props earlier. Giving them
I,
props.
I heaped a lot of praise on Chelsea.
Yeah. Eric Ten Hag asked Steve McLaren for advice on FC20 before Wednesday night. Wow, that ice, isn't it? why would Eric Ten Hag need any advice off Steve McLaren for FC20? And he was in the league himself. What did you think of the Ardmore versus Malahide under 10s this weekend? Should we even talk about that?
What is it?
Should we even talk about that? Darren's son was playing. I think it was like it finished like 24-3 or something like that.
Serious.
Yeah, it
See
wasn't great.
See, the thing about it, Ted, there's no referees in those games. It's only from under 12s up. It's usually one coach will do one half and another coach will do the other half then.
I think Darren was saying they had a ref 24-2. Ted is saying 24-2.
24-2.
There you go. Yeah,
If they had a ref, it would have been someone. If they have refs at that game, it's usually someone that plays underage. So, say an under 16 player that has a referee badge that be able to do it, like, you know. So they don't tend to send referees out to the under 10s and 11s games.
Yeah. Don't fall for Jordan's. Don't fall for Jordan's kindness. I would like to send you the sickening words he sent me, and even got my channel banned. So now I have lost 700 subs. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Always loved you, Mark. There you go.
Love you too, Ian.
Thanks for the shout out, bro. Absolutely. Anytime, pal. Absolutely. 100%. Yeah, 24-2, Ted is saying. Yeah. Right, quick one. Carabao Cup.
Yes.
Anything here you fancy? Obviously, Wimbledon, Newcastle is off due to the pitch. Pitch looks horrific.
Yeah.
Wickham
Chelsea, and Villa be a good game.
Wickham and Villa.
Because obviously Villa won't be playing a full strength team. Wickham have a decent team there, first team, but it's about Walsall, Leicester.
Yeah,
I hadn't even looked at that. Yeah, no, I think that Wickham Villa game be decent enough. You think City would beat Watford, whoever they put out there. Chelsea the same against Barrow. Chelsea give a few of the younger lads a run out and stuff like that, but we'll win convincingly, I'd say. Arsenal Bolton, that's one for the nostalgia, isn't it?
Ted, there's no way you want Wickham to beat Aston Villa. You're earning a fortune off Ollie Watkins, you little turncoat in your bets. Way out with that.
It's great just to see Arsenal versus Bolton, though, isn't it? Like, it's just a throwback to the Premier League. But
it would if Sam Allardyce was still in charge. I'd give them a chance.
And JJ Okocha and all. Yeah, but obviously, listen, the big game is Liverpool and West Ham. There's no doubt about it. You know, it should be a really good game. And West Ham they need to do something, don't they? Because they haven't done anything so far. So
I don't think that's the night to do it. It's going to be interesting to see what teams they turn out. Lopetegui, obviously, he'll probably change things up again because I think he's changed nearly every game. Liverpool will be interesting to see who Marna puts out. Don't be surprised if Federico Chiesa gets a bit of time in this game because he's been looking for minutes. So
will he play Adrian in goal?
Not anymore because he ain't there anymore.
Is he not there anymore?
No, he's gone. He headed off. Third choice is the younger lad they brought in. What's his name again?
Is that the guy that was on loan at Pats?
No, I don't think it's him. I think it's what's his name? Yasko or something. I think is the third choice now. Adrian went. He went back off to back to Spain to did he go back to Sociedad on one of them?
Jeez, I didn't know that.
Where he was originally or something like that. Yeah, he went. We got rid of our social manager. Yeah, Adrian, 60 grand a week.
Good lad.
Yeah.
The big question is, will Scott Carson start and go to City? He will, as ours.
Yeah. Don't be surprised. Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting. And of course, I think then probably get the draw after this then on Wednesday, will we? This is the second batch after last week, isn't it? So
it will be, probably be after the Liverpool West Ham game on Wednesday,
yeah, or maybe half time or something like that. So it should be interesting. Yeah. I don't see any major upsets.
Or they could do it on Tuesday after the round of games on Tuesday, that sort of way. So
I think they waited till Wednesday last time. Did they? I think, they normally wait till the Wednesday. Because absolutely. So we'll see. So hopefully we progress anyway. We are the holders. I'd like to keep it going, stuff like that, and have plenty of options there for slot to bring players in and stuff like that. But I'd like to see Chiesa even getting a half to see.
Exactly stretch the legs and like you say, dip his toe in.
And again, it's not a dip either. Like it's West Ham, you know what I mean. So it's Premier League. It's Premier League opposition. It's not like we're playing Wickham or Walsall or something like that, So
exactly.
Europa League for you guys?
Yeah, there was a thing I was looking at there earlier. There's a few decent games in there as well, like Ajax Besiktas going to be good, Roma Atletico.
Dynamo Kiev, Lazio.
Yeah, Lazio as well. There was another game there I was looking
yourselves on 20.
Yeah, 20. Yeah.
Who did you say? Nice Real Sociedad?
No, who else was I looking at there? I can't remember. I was looking at obviously Spurs be You'd expect them to win? I think Leon Olympiacos, should be a decent game.
Roma Athletic.
That's the one that I
Mm.
mentioned that already. Yeah, no, that's gonna be
Yeah.
a good game. But and like I said, Ajax and Besiktas be a good game as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, listen, you'd like to get off to a winning start, especially at home. 20 decent team. I think someone mentioned in the comments there about McLaren. Was with them a few years ago and stuff like that. Ten Hag be calling on him, but yeah, I'd expect us to win there. Hopefully, 2 or 3-0. Hopefully, not concede.
I do. I love Wickham. There you go. Yeah, I can't see too many upsets there now. Okay, cheers for that, Jack. Ian's in. Liverpool going to hammer the Hammers. Hopefully.
Be a
West Ham.
jailbreak, what?
They are actually. Do you know something? I think Darren was mentioned that the other day when we were looking at the West Ham game against Chelsea.
Did he get injured against Brighton?
Ward-Prowse.
Yeah.
I
think he went off early enough in the game. Like, I could be wrong.
I didn't see what happened now, but I'm not too sure. Hopefully another 7-0 win. There you go.
I'm going 3-0. I'll take 3-0. Just clean sheet, hopefully.
Clean sheet and a win.
Now you have. And if we do that, I'll be dancing in the moonlight.
Now, let's talk about this man. 20 years on from passing away, Brian Clough. What a footballer, man. What a manager. What a head case. But it's on the BBC iPlayer there for anyone who wants to check it out. 20 years on from Brian Clough, taking a look back at his career and stuff like that. I was listening to a story the other day it was either on TikTok or on YouTube, or it was one of his ex-players, can't remember his name. And they were playing against Wimbledon, the Crazy Gang. Don't know if you've heard this story. So Vinnie Jones arrived in and had the fucking ghetto blaster. Have you heard this story?
I think I have, yeah.
Vinnie Jones with the ghetto blaster. So they're blasting it in the change room, blasting it. Crazy Gang, you know yourself.
Yeah.
So Cloughie said this lad who was telling the story was the lad that Clough sent in twice to tell Vinnie Jones to turn the ghetto blaster.
Oh, yes, yeah.
I can't remember his name. It was Alan something or other, is it? Alan something or other, but he played for Cloughie. I can't remember his name. And he went in twice, and of course, twice Vinnie turned it up even more. So the next thing, Clough went in, and he said to Vinnie Jones, turn that fucking ghetto blaster down, whatever it was, And Jones wouldn't turn it down, and he went over, picked up the ghetto blaster, smashed it in the middle of the floor in the change room in the smithereens, and walked out. It was an incredible story. And when you look at Clough, you could see he'd be the type of guy that would exactly do that, wouldn't he?
Yeah. I've heard lots of stories.
Good one, Ted. Yeah, Alan.
Yeah.
What a story.
Was it Mark Crosley? Said that he invited him. Was it Mark Crosley? It was a go kit. How you will, and he invited him over to the house, and he said, "Come over to my house Sunday morning. I want to talk to you." So he came over, had a bit of breakfast with Brian and the wife, and then his one of his sons comes in, and he had him playing in goal in the Sunday league team for the Suns team on the Sunday morning. Unbelievable! And that time, Stuart Pearce was in the change room, and in the Forest program at the time, Stuart was working with his brother, and they were electricians. And obviously, he was just playing part-time with Forest at the time. He was just breaking into the team. And one of the days, Brian Clough read the programme and seen that the ad was Stuart Pearson as an electrician. So he thought to himself, so the next Saturday he comes in, match day, he goes, and you, Piercy, you're an electrician, are you? He goes, I do a bit. And he takes this iron out and he goes, that's the missus iron. It's broke now. Fix it or you're not playing. And he's just like...
It's unbelievable.
Sitting there going, but in fairness, down in Longford, I think I told you before, I won't say too many because I'm hoping to get him on here. Neil Webb, absolute legend, was telling me a few stories about Brian Clough and all. It was unbelievable. And I told you at the time to be hearing it from someone that was with him, to get these snippets for someone that was with Clough, and obviously Sir Alex as well, some stories about him, but some of the stories about Brian Clough. Myself and Neil were outside the Longford Arms having a cigar with each other because Neil doesn't drink but he smokes cigars, and if I've had a few pints of them, and the lads will tell you I like to have a cigar And I was outside at Longford Arms having a cigar, sitting there listening to all these stories with Niall Webb. It was unbelievable, man. So yeah, no, I'm hoping to get him on here sometime to share some of those, and it'd be pretty good to get him on now with that. But I'll definitely be watching that, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be definitely worth watching. You know, just crazy. But yeah, it'd be nice to get Neil on as well, share some of those stories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that comes to the shows this week as well. Tomorrow, folks, Pro Wrestling Weekly. We're going to be going through AEW Grand Slam coming up on Wednesday. We'll also be taking a quick look at the 5th year anniversary of Dynamite coming up as well. We're going to be looking at Bad Blood, keeping you updated on that. We're going to be talking about Roman Reigns and Cody's cinematic promo from SmackDown last week. And plenty of other stuff to discuss tomorrow night as well, including our usual slot for history and notable birthdays as well. Wednesday, myself and Mark back on your screens, 9 o'clock, I think it is, Mark. With William Tyrrell, Chief Scout in Ireland here for Norwich City. Going to have plenty of questions. So make sure you get on that show, folks. Have plenty of questions for William Tyrrell, all about scouting and stuff like that.
Ted is still holding the Brexit question in that you talked about 2 weeks ago. I take it, Ted. William says his apologies. Obviously, he's meant to be on last week, but he got a call from Norris to go to UCD to look at 2 players. So he sends his apologies about that.
Which is probably the life of a scout anyway. It's probably the life of a scout anyway, this thing. So it's a pleasure to go and have him on Wednesday. Marky's going to have some throwback stories as well from back in the day as well.
Oh, yes.
So we'll have a lot of fun on that one, as we always do as well. And as Mark said, we're trying to get Neil Webb on at the moment. So it'd be great to get Neil on as well, and others that we're working on. And then Thursday, the usual Thursday Tier Talk back with Dazzler on your screens, Premier League preview, beat the bookie, and all the latest news and stuff like that. Fun as
talking about players getting dropped and stuff like that.
Talking about players getting rotated. Rotated.
Love it.
There is no drop in that world. There's only rotated. Yeah, he got very upset with me last week when I said Rashford dropped. So I said I wouldn't do it again. I wouldn't upset him again.
That's it. Like that. Can't have
so,
that.
As always, folks, great show again. Mark, appreciate you having you on as always on the Monday.
Pleasure, absolute pleasure. I love it, lads.
Yeah, so make sure, folks, if you can like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification as well in case there's any changes, like what happened with William's show last week. Good that we can inform you that way, and we will talk to you again real soon. Make sure as well, folks, you're absolutely supporting all the channels in the chat as well. These guys put in shifts as well, not just us. So make sure you're subscribing there as well and showing your support to them as well. And that's it. Talk to you Wednesday.
Talk to you, Nick.
Take it easy, bro.